Thank you so much for joining me for my 12 Sundays of Christmas series. My name is Sharon Rogers and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wells, Maine in the United States. And each Sunday from October 1st to December 17th, I am bringing you either a gift idea or a gift packaging idea that you can create with Stampin' Up! Products. Let's see what we have for today. On the 6th Sunday of Christmas, Sharon shared with me a gift card holder. Untie the ribbon and it opens up to reveal a sentiment and a nice little gift card in here. Pretty quick and easy gift to make. And you know, for those of you who struggle with giving gift cards, I think you will alleviate some of the guilt you may feel if you make the presentation extra special. And so that's what we're going to do tonight. We will begin by bringing a piece of balmy blue onto our trimmer and cutting it at 4 1/4 lengthwise. Some of you have heard me reference this as a hot dog fold card. And it sort of is, except for we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to score it at 5 1/2, which would be the typical place to score it for a hot dog fold. But then we are going to score it at 1 3/4. This is going to be the portion that holds the gift card. All right. So when we fold this, we have one fold line there and we have one fold line here. That's going to get adhered. And so we have a card that opens like this. I've gone ahead and cut a few layers. This Night of Navy layer measures 1/4 inch smaller in both directions. So because this is 4 1/4 inches wide and 3 3/4 inches this way, I need this to be 3 1/2 by 4. And then I need a smaller piece, and this is the back of one of the leftover pieces of my Berry Christmas card pack. And I cut it down. Still have the baby bear I can use another time. But I'm using the snowflakes on this project. Yes, it did kill me to not use the bears. They're so cute. But I am going to use a bear. So that's going to go right there. So everything is 1/4 inch smaller. Then I'm going to bring in this smaller piece right here. This was one of the smaller cards from the card pack, which normally measures 3 by 4. So the 4 is what I want. This piece over here is 1 3/4. So I need it to be, I'm going to try 1 3/4 and see if I like that, or if I need to trim it down a little bit. I'll show you why in just a second. So if I imagine these things down together, if I put that right on there, yeah, I need it to be cut down to 1 1/2. Sometimes it's nice to have it go all the way over, but not in this case. So now you can see we're going to have something that looks like this. Just pretty blues for that cold cash or credit card to go into. All right. Let's go ahead and glue these pieces together. I have a brand new bottle of glue out. Even redid my holder. I'm cleaning my studio here, my craft room. And so I'm cleaning off some of my shelves, and I knew where my glue guns were, but I did not know where my glue sticks were. So I found them and I was able to kind of warm up the old one that was in here because it was getting a little sticky because I'd been a little sloppy with the glue. Putting it back in. Look at how just that's blue sets that right off. Could have also used Misty Moonlight here as well. That's another one of the colors in here. Just want to make sure I get a nice even border. You know what? I think I want to turn this around. I like to have the darker colors as much on the bottom as possible. I just think that that's where the weight is. So I try to keep the weight down at the bottom. This had a darker blue here versus the lighter blue up there. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so there we have that. Now I'm going to bring in a circle to set my little bears off. And I think you can see that we have a little bit of a gray tone here, basic gray. I think this might be Pebbled Path. So I'm going to get that color out and see how it looks on this. All right, I've gone ahead and color matched, and this is basic gray in here. I was thinking it might be Pebbled Path, but Pebbled Path is a little bit warmer, and these blues are fairly cold. So I decided to keep this in the basic gray family, and I just used my Stylish Shapes dies. I used that second one. I think the largest one is a little bit too large. It goes right to those edges. But I didn't want to go too small because I'm going to be using my polar bear punch. Now, of course, you could put a Christmas tree in here. You could put a snowflake. You could do a lot of different things. I'm not going to attach it yet because I need to bring in some ribbon, but I also want to bring in my polar bear. Let's see, if I go ahead, I can stamp. Now, you don't have to stamp with a polar bear. You can just go ahead and punch it out and just have the polar bear shape. But since I am here and I have my bear out, might as well do that. Now, what color should we stamp our polar bear in? Should we do it in Night of Navy or should we do it in the basic gray? Let's bring in the basic gray. Now I know the natural inclination is probably to stamp the polar bear in or on basic white. However, I was watching a documentary about polar bears the other day. No joke, I really was. And they were really more vanilla than they were white. They were very, very more yellow toned than this even, which surprised me, but we will punch him out now. We'll just line him up as best we can. There we go. Voila. And we're going to put our little friend right there. All right, so now we will be tying this shut, but let's open this. I'm going to set these elements aside for right now and concentrate on the inside. So on this inside, this is what's going to be our holder. You can bring in you can bring in a die or just a little punch. I'm going to bring in just a circle punch that I have and cut out just a little bit of a piece there. That's just a finger hold so that you can get in there a little bit more easily. And then I need to bring in my tear and tape. You want to stay as close to the edge as possible with your tear and tape to give your card as much room as you can. Just makes sliding it in there and getting it out a lot easier. Tear and tape is a very nice strong adhesive, but if you are using something like Seal, you want to use the Seal Plus. which is going to be very, very strong, but you have to get it right up on the edge and maybe even just off the edge a little bit, just because it's wider. If I press this over here, I like to give it a little burnish, help that stick down. Let's see, do I have a card around here somewhere? I do. Oh, look, I have a Smitty's. Oh, I have a vanilla one, a vanilla Visa card. That would look nice in there. Oh yeah, let's use that one. You can use any card that you're going to give. For instance, Smitty's is also blue. That kind of stands out there if you want to give the gift of a movie. So that's a nice option too. And now we just need a piece that's going to go right in here. That's going to be the same measurement as this navy piece that was out here. So we needed 4. I know it's 4. And what was the width? 3.5. Was that 3.5? Yes, 3.5. 4 by 3.5. We will punch that out here. So 3.5 by 4. And that's going to go right here on the inside. So I would make sure these 3 sides are the same. Remember, this one's going to fold over, so you're going to have a little bit more of a distance in there. Just make sure 3 of the sides are the same. And you can, of course, stamp on this before you adhere it down. Whatever sentiment you want in there. Probably Merry Christmas, right? Maybe add some snowflakes. In this very cute set, there are some snowflakes. Let me show you. See, we got some big snowflakes, some little snowflakes, presents. We could even put a scarf. We can put a scarf on our little dude. Let's do that. That would be kind of fun. I love putting the scarf on. And let's do that in Night of Navy. Or let's do it in Misty Moonlight, because my Night of Navy is somewhere, not in its holder. So when I'm stamping this, just want to line it right up against his neck. And there we go. A perfect little scarf on our little dude. He is so cute. I love this polar bear set. I knew the second I saw that this set was in here that I was going to be getting it. Now we are going to adhere my little polar bear friend. And I think we'll do that with some dimensionals. It's time to use up the edges of these dimensionals. Let's just make some cuts in there. And this one down, going down his leg here. Okay. That's gonna go right there. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, he really is darling. I'm gonna bring in this gold. It's a vanilla and gold ribbon. And I chose this because it's really vanilla that's in the paper. We're gonna wrap this around, and it's gonna tie it shut. I just want to make sure I have enough to tie a bow. I try to keep it on there. I am really bad at estimating how much I need for the bow. It's probably something like 20 inches, maybe a little bit more. So my tails are a little bit long here. So I might just say, okay, what's this length right here? And then I'd bring it over to my paper trimmer, or I'd get my ruler out. I love having a clear ruler, except for when I go to find it. It's very hard to find on my desk. So that's 12 inches. So this looks like it's about 24 inches, which makes sense because it's typically 4 times the width of the card. I mean, we're wrapping around something that's 5.5 inches, so it makes sense that we need, 6 times 4, which is 24. Let's go ahead and tie this ribbon down. I'm not going to trim it because I am going to open it up and stamp on the inside a little bit. I should have done that before I put things down, but I don't always. So we have that. Now we're just going to put this right on here so it lays flat. We can do that with regular glue. You could pop this up on dimensionals as well. However, the only problem with that, and I'm just gonna flatten this down a little bit. The only problem with that is if you are mailing it, you've already got the thickness of the card, you've got the dimensionals that are on the bear, so you just have to be really careful about that. And I think having it down like this keeps the ribbon pretty firmly in place. If your ribbon was a very thick ribbon, you probably would want to use dimensionals. Otherwise, this is not going to lay very nicely. Let's now this is kind of plain over here as well. So what we could do is you can see that my little thumb hold here comes down a little bit. I'm going to just cut this in half. And we'll just bring in this little stripe over here. Just put it towards the bottom here. It just gives a little bit of an accent over here. Why not? And make a nice border on 3 sides. There we go. Here we've got our little card in there. And now let's stamp a little something on the inside. I think we will stamp Merry Christmas. Oh, you know what? This is, yeah, no, I was going to put the Christmas is better together because that's a nice little sentiment. If you're going to the movies, it's nice to go to the movies with somebody. But let's just stick with the Merry Christmas. Keeping it simple here. And we'll bring in our ink again. And we'll just stamp Merry Christmas right down there. There we go. I think we need some snowflakes. Now, this color is a little bit dark for me for the snowflake, so I will bring in a little piece of scrap paper if I can find one. I can find one right here. I'm going to stamp off a little bit, and then we'll stamp right on here, right down here again, and then we'll switch to the smaller snowflake. And again, I'm going to stamp off, and then we'll just stamp up here, and then down here. And then maybe one more. I like the big one. We'll stamp the big one. One more time. Down here. All right. You can do it all over if you want to. That's good enough for me though. Let me close it up. So it's a little bit of an interesting combination, the vanilla and the gray and the blue. You got a little bit of warm, you've got a little bit of cold, but I rather like it. So let's just play with our bow until it looks the way we want it to. And again, I'm not going to trim this because I do have to open it up and get that gift card out because that gift card has been used. It's no good anymore, so that wouldn't be a very good gift, would it? I do have an envelope. Let's bring back our snowflakes and make some snowflakes down the edge. And we can kind of go full strength and then just work our way up here. And then we bring in the smaller one. Oh, I guess I don't need to tap off, do I? And so we have something that looks like that. Just going down the side. And that is our gift card holder and card all at once. And that is the 6th Sunday of Christmas. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found your time was spent in a worthwhile endeavor watching this video and learning how to create a gift card holder. It is true that we all struggle with giving gift cards or cash or gift certificates at Christmas time. However, most people I found don't have a problem receiving those items. So you can marry the two and have it a win-win for both sides if you make the presentation beautiful. And so taking the time to do that with some stamps, ink, and paper is going to mean a lot to the recipient, and it'll alleviate some of your Christmas gift giving guilt. This Tuesday during my Tune In Tuesday class, I will be revisiting the Beary Christmas Memories and More card pack and cards and envelopes. I did it last Tune In Tuesday, but there are just so many great designs in that card pack that I had to show you 5 more. The Memories and More product line is a great way to create many cards in a very small amount of time, most which don't even involve any stamping if you don't want them to. So check it out this Tuesday. If you place an order of $40 or more in my online store by next Sunday evening, which is November 12th, 2023, I will send you the supplies to create each one of those 5 cards that I'll be creating. Plus, I'll send you the supplies to create the gift card holder that we created today. Thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend and make this coming week a great one.